Hi, everyone. Teresa from FactorLab. Thank you so much for joining us and the team as we celebrate and announce the winners for Surge 2023. As some of you may know, this is our third annual event, and we couldn't be happier that there was over 200 submission across our 5 categories. I do want to take a second just to thank our judges. As you can imagine, thousands of conversations coming down to those 200 still really requires a lot of attention and people going through conversations. And the judging was very tight this year. So as we get started, Barry, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you.
Thanks, Teresa. Thanks, everybody, again for participating. Echoing back, what Teresa was just saying. We had almost 100,000 new conversations last year that people used FactorLab for, and we used AI to narrow that down to 200, and then we had a panel of judges go through those 200 and nail them down to the winners today. Believe me, every year that we do this, it gets harder and harder. 2 seconds on the background of Surge. Surge is a very personal thing for us at FactorLab. It is a small way for us to give real money back to people who are closest to the work and doing the things that are necessary to try and protect one another, especially when they do it through conversations. And it started out mostly as I don't know, what's the best conversation? Because we wanted to just thank people and just say that was a great conversation and not just go directly to them and award them some cash. It's kind of grown a little bit over time. And with each year, it becomes more and more of a way to celebrate great leaders, because what we're finding with these conversations is that the conversation is interesting, but what's really, really interesting are the people behind the conversations that create the environment for the conversations. Michael Beer, professor at Harvard, said something: it's not the seed, it's the soil that matters. And, the more that we're in this, the more that we understand, I'm understanding what he means. And so with that, we'll get on with the awards. I want to thank everybody for letting us be a part of this. Again, thanks for the continued improvement in the amazing conversations that we get to learn from and we get to share with others as examples of what good looks like. So we'll move on now to Ben. He's going to do our first award. Ben Ross. He's a team member of ours that leads the customer success team, and he's going to talk through the winner for best conversation in English.
Thank you, Barry. We're really excited about the best conversations this year. It was really tough judging. Just to clarify, these judges were really looking at the criteria of engagement by the entire crew so that this was a true, natural conversation addressing high hazards, real hazards, really just creating an environment where people wanted to speak up and wanted to actually care about the work that they're doing for the day. Our runner-up this year is John, and he was doing a great job out at Entergy and being able to really engage his team in a natural conversation. They were really addressing hazards in a back and forth conversation where they all were ensuring each other that they understood what it is that they were talking about, that the planning was in place. They took time to ensure that every aspect of the energy wheel, which is a tool that they utilize to identify the hazards and such, was being addressed, so they were all on the same page. So really close judging, but that was our runner-up. And then we're also excited to announce our winner this year, and that is Charles out at DPR. What we really liked with this conversation and why it kind of took first place is, again, Charles really laid a foundation and an environment so that these crews felt comfortable having a conversation. He went around to each of them. They were able to participate, express the concerns that they were doing for the day. Not only that, but they were really engaged in talking about the production. What do we need to get accomplished today? He identified some of the key people in the team that needed to help, some that were a little bit younger and or inexperienced in some of the tasks. Overall, just a fantastic conversation, really creating an environment where they all felt safe to speak up. So that's our winner this year for Best Conversation.
Great.
That's great. Okay, so thank you, Ben, for that, and congratulations to our winners. Let's move on now to the best conversation in Spanish. Tom?
Thank you, Barry. It's amazing how technology is changing. Prior to this year, we had to have Spanish judges judge our Spanish conversations. Now that we have this translation feature almost happening in real time, we're able to expand our judges. It's pretty much the same criteria as Ben just mentioned for the English award. So we're really looking for those levels of engagement, the identification of the values like caring that are displayed by both the leader and the crew. So let's move on. Our first runner-up is Francisco Sandoval with JJ Albany's. Really enjoyed the conversation among many others. You can tell by this photo or the screenshot, there's real engagement, there's teamwork, and it all comes across through the leader. We appreciate Francisco. Our winner is Jorge Aguayo from Structure Tone Southwest. Here again was an example of creating that environment where people are free to discuss the issue. It goes deeper than just a job assignment. It goes to the give and take, the back and forth that goes along with planning to have a great day of work. Everybody's included. There's respect shown among the crew towards each other and to the leader. Mutual respect, very interactive discussion. And based on that, Jorge is our winner.
Thank you, Tom. Congratulations again for those winners and everybody who contributed to the most effective Spanish conversation this year. This is always a fun category that's coming up. Chuck, tell us about Most Improved for this year.
Sure, yes. This is one of my favorite ones to judge. We can kind of follow along on their journey. And when the judges look at this, we look at the initial conversation that they're having and kind of their level of leadership engagement, how the caring improves, the planning, hazard identification. And it really is like going on their journey with them. And this is, I don't know, I think one of the most difficult ones to judge because there's so many success stories, right? So how do you select one of the best success stories? So we had to narrow it down, and the couple of ones that were very close, right? So the first runner-up was Raul, and he's from JJ Albany's. And really, when he first started out, it was more of just a one-way conversation. And then he really got a lot of people involved in the conversation and showed a lot of caring. And then the winner is Jose Bueno from J.E. Dunn. And again, Jose was really good initially just engaging with one person, but over time, he really got a lot of the crew engaged. They really interacted well. They demonstrated a lot of caring, better planning. There's a lot of good hazard identification. And I think his level of leadership, you could really see kind of evolve over time. So really great conversation. Awesome job, Jose.
Thanks, Chuck. And thanks, guys, for you guys for all the work that you're doing to get better. It's great. It's like everybody's saying, it's wonderful to be able to watch and literally witness people as they go on their own journey to try and get better and make their own decisions of what they're going to do. It's not easy to get better at a daily planning conversation. Trust me. So thanks everybody who has been working on getting better this year. All right, we have the individual conversations. We also we like to recognize those coaches, safety professionals and non-safety professionals who work hard to help people actually get better and provide them the support and leadership that they need. So John's going to talk about our best individual coach.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Again, love all these awards, but this one's obviously a big deal, right? These coaches, these people that are out there trying to really, again, cultivate that environment, right, to make these people feel comfortable. And that includes not just working with the folks directly, but working with leadership as a whole, to making sure that we're giving the right reinforcement, making sure that we're, reacting to things the right way, and just, moving forward in a positive way. And so it's really a big deal. So with that, I want to say both of these folks really exemplify this. First, Eric Zaranek, he's a senior superintendent with Pepper Construction, Indiana. And, Eric, by all accounts, is just really, really passionate about it. He really puts in the work to engage both their self-performed crews and their subcontractors to just really create these conversations that they're proud of, right? And making sure that we're, having these critical conversations each and every day. And he does it through coaching and some positive reinforcement, making sure that himself and others are regularly engaging and giving people likes and comments on a regular basis, as well as Eric in particular did a really good job of creating an orientation. So there was a way to making sure as new people came aboard to a given project, they could be indoctrinated in the process and get headed off on the right foot. So congratulations to Eric for being runner-up for best coach, right? Which again is a big deal. Just like the other awards, there was a lot of people that were considered as part of this process. I wanted to mention that. So Eric should be very, very proud of that for sure. That brings us to the winner of the Best Coach Surge Awards, Lex LaCours. Lex LaCours just really, she fights the good fight, right? First off, she works in a arguably one of the highest risk environments you can work in, right? Entergy, the utility, talking high power lines, substations, et cetera. And so, she really engaged the teams to work them through this process. He did it in a lot of different unique ways, right? One, he helped create and kind of pioneer their hashtag You're It process, right? That's a way to where as people are doing conversations, everybody in leadership and others could hashtag a conversation and say, hey, this person's worthy of getting recognized. We could consider that. So that certainly helped a lot. And really, I can tell you that program, as we look at 21 through 22, drove engagement. They had 120% engagement increase over those 2 years. And 2023 is just going to completely blow it out of the park. And, again, she did it through the hashtag program and also in working with leadership to making sure we're at the right level of giving those likes and those comments and keeping regularly engaged, as well as, one of the biggest deals to them in this whole process and creating these conversations they're proud of are making sure that they're increasing hazard recognition. That was a big deal to them. They did execute on the energy wheel. And so the fact that they were able to create over a 50% increase in the engagement in that process and hazard recognition as a whole, it also created a way to just really monitor ongoing health of that critical system to them in the energy wheel. So congratulations, Lex. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, John. That's great. And this, again, we're so proud to support these leaders who are helping leaders. And so it's no big deal it's no small deal to be nominated and to win this really, really important award. Well, that leads us to, we have two of these awards left. One is the 2023 Top Company Award. So this is always a difficult one. We have hundreds of companies, big and small, who are customers of FactorLab and organizations organizations that are users of FactorLab. And it's difficult to say, what is the top company, because there's lots of different criteria that you could apply to that. But it all comes back down to senior leadership and their ability to work closely in support with the safety team to create an environment where people have and value great daily planning conversations. And what sets these companies apart is typically operations understands this isn't a safety conversation. This is an ability to listen to conversations that indicate to them who are their leaders that are going to drive better outcomes. And those better outcomes are going to both include safety and everything else that goes along with it. this year's winner is JJ Albanese. And so we're so grateful to be on their team. Those of you who don't know who this company is, I encourage you to look them up on the web and get to know them. If you buy services in the Bay Area, buy them from JJ Albanese, because these guys have a great company and a great culture. The John Messing, who runs the safety team, and Philip Albanese work hand in hand to create the environment where people are genuinely trying to continuously get better and be successful. It shows up, by the way, in the numbers. They had over 80% of their conversations were organized by our AI model into the green section. Let me just tell you, that's not normal, right? It's only done because they are doing what they need to do to get people to engage, get people to participate, get people to ask better questions. It's a real testament to what those leaders are doing to create a better environment. 95% of the people that they want to participate are participating in the system. So not just by, I say, participating in the system, that means recording their daily planning conversation and sharing it for other people to learn from. And that's incredible. So not only do they have people participating and they have the engagement that they want, but they're also seeing ongoing year after year, this is their third year to be doing this, improvements in the quality of their conversations. And by the way, 70% of those conversations are in Spanish. And they're working with a demographic of, they pour concrete and they do heavy infrastructure work. So these are incredible accomplishments, and I'm so proud that we get to call JJ Albanese a partner, and we get the chance to serve them. So congratulations to JJ Albanese for being, FactorLab's Surge Award winner, Company of the Year. Thank you. Let's move on to the last award, which is our Vision Award. This is my own little personal award. I found out, I did this a couple of 3 years ago because there was always like somebody that throughout the year had an impact on me, had an impact on our industry, had an impact on everybody in our team, and they just touch us personally. This year, I'm so proud to get to give this award to Jamie Dabbs from TD Industries. Jamie Dabbs, for those of you who don't know it, is the personification of what a great leader looks like. He happens to be a vice president of safety, but he's a great leader. He's a great young leader. And Jamie is an inspiration to all of us. He's fearless. He's unflappable in the face of adversity. He is constantly pushing all of us to get better, whether it's me and our models, or us and how we help, or his friends and colleagues and competitors who are all trying to do the same, who share his vision anyway, but we're trying to get better. Jamie is a giver. He is constantly trying to give back to the industry, to the people that work for him, certainly to us at FactorLab, of how can we all band together to get better and create an environment that really protects those closest to the work. Not some kind of made up crap, not a bunch of pencil whip data, but genuinely trying to apply technology and conversations. And by the way, they do tons and tons of observations to help all of us figure out what's the truth and how do we all get better at using information to protect those closest to the work. So I want to say thanks to Jamie again for letting us be on his team. Congratulations to you, Jamie, for being my personal Vision Award winner, and for us as the industry, the Vision Award winner for Surge. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we are, as Barry mentioned and the team mentioned, we are just so thrilled to be partnering with a lot of these organizations and these people specifically. And there's a ton of lessons that can be learned out of watching their conversations and getting to know how did they create that environment in their organization to have great conversations. So our next steps is really to bring that information to you through a series of obviously watching the conversations yourself, as well as interviewing them and just really understanding their best practices and how can you deploy and implement those in your own organization as you're on your own journey. And we just can't be more thankful that you listened in today as we made the announcements. Barry, any final thoughts?
Yeah, first I want to thank you, Teresa. This doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work to put these surge awards together. With first days, it was kind of simple, but now it's actually a lot of work. So I want to thank Teresa, and I want to thank everybody on the FactorLab team, and all the outside folks who were judges that put in the time and effort. By the way, everybody's got to do their day jobs. And so we do all this just as a small little gesture to say thanks to everybody. We enjoy doing it, but we don't take it for granted. So thanks, Teresa, for that. And then I want to thank our customers and all of the people who every day get up and take the time to share with us their daily planning conversations. We feel extremely privileged and grateful to get to witness and watch others as they grow and learn and try and figure out how to make their industries safer, how to help their companies, accomplish their objectives, and what they can do to be really more effective at protecting those closest to the work. So we couldn't be more grateful as a FactorLab team for all of you and all that you do and the chance to let us come along with you on the ride. Thanks very much. We'll see you in 2024.